Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. As you can see, I'm in an interesting position. The title of this is called I Have a Good Feeling About This. And the reason I say that is because I started playing already, and then I paused it. I decided that what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing some practice before I start recording. So I'm gonna, like, every time that I do one of these streams or videos, I'm not gonna just jump in cold and start playing and recording at the same time. I'm gonna play a little bit to get myself into the groove, and then I will start. As you can see, I'm right at the base of the chimney, and I have a really good feeling about this because the last few times that I did it, I basically have a strategy now, and I feel like I keep getting closer and closer to getting it done. So, like, do you see that? That's the longest I've been up in there. So I think I'm getting really close, which is great. And I think that I just need to keep going, keep trying, and eventually I will get it. I feel like I'm shouting. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I feel like I'm screaming at you. I will lower my voice. But yeah. How was your day? Or depending on, well, I guess it depends on where you are. For me right now, it's Friday evening. It's about 9:53 p.m. So depending on where you are, it's gonna probably be it could be a different time. You could be at the beginning of your day, you could be at the end of your day, you could be at the middle of your day. But either way, how you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Today was a semi-productive day for me. I went grocery shopping, and I did Chinese homework. And that's about it. Visited my friend, watched a movie. Oh, God. I really wish I knew what to do once I got to that part. I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I really don't. It really is just like trial and error. It's really as simple as that. Oh, that was a weird slide. He did like a Michael Jackson moonwalk slide thing. I don't know what that was. That was really weird. But anyway, yeah. My day was relatively uneventful. I woke up and I watched some YouTube videos. Oh, whoa, what's that about? What's that about? Okay, I've never done that before. That was interesting. Speaking of YouTube videos, I have been watching, so there's a video game called Life is Strange. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. Very, very popular game that came out a couple years ago. And a lot of my favorite YouTube gamers, of course, have done playthroughs and Let's Plays of it. And I've played it myself, actually. I started off by watching the first, like, part of Katie Plays Stuff. I don't know if you know her, but she's one of my favorite YouTube gamers. So I started watching her playthrough, and then I liked the game so much that I was like, I kind of want to play it myself. And because it's one of those story-based games, and there's like a mystery and everything, I was like, I don't want to watch her play it before I actually beat the game myself, because I don't want to spoil anything. So I made the decision that I'd play it, and I did, and it was amazing. And unfortunately, I'm not able to, anyway, let me not jump ahead of myself. Oh, no. I didn't mean that kind of jump. Anyway, I am not Oops. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, hold on one second. My fingers are starting to cramp up, as usual. Because that's what this game does. No, don't do that. That is not what I want you to do, buddy. Like, at all. It's like the opposite of what I want you to do. Let me just get back up into that corner, and then I will continue my story. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So, the only problem I had was that, after I played the first one, I beat it, and then what I like to do when I do those story-based, choices matter type games, I like to watch, other people play to see, like, if they chose the way I chose, or if they made different choices and how those different choices change their story. Because I'm too lazy to go back and replay the game. It's a lot of reading and a lot of exposition that I don't feel like going through again myself. So I'd rather just watch someone else play it. So then I found out that the DLC came out for it called Before the Storm. And of course, I was like, yeah, I want to see it. It's like a prequel to the original game. I'm like, yeah, of course I want to play that. But, unfortunately, video game developers hate people who use Macs, apparently. Because most of the time, the games that I want to play are not available to be played on Macs. It really sucks. Because I'm willing to spend my money just like anybody else, but I can't always play the games. It's another reason why I started watching Let's Plays on YouTube, because it was like, it's the only way that I can get the experience of playing of the game without actually playing it. But anyway, so the Life is Strange DLC, not available on Mac. I put it on my wish list on Steam, but of course, it's still not available on Mac. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to watch some of my favorite YouTubers play the DLC. And that way, I'll at least get to experience it. And even though it will spoil, the ending or whatever, which is kind of funny because it's a prequel, so I sort of already know what's going to happen to the characters. But okay, can I rest no, I can't. It would have been nice if I could rest my pot on that on that light, but I can't do that. It'll still be nice, if they ever do release it, it will be nice to play it again, just to make, because some of the, of course I'm not going to always agree with the choices that other players make, and that's fine, because that's their story, and I would like the opportunity to create my own story. So even after I watch the ending of this, which I still have another hour and a half left of the playthrough to watch, I will probably still want to play it myself. So fingers crossed they will release the DLC on Mac. The original one, Life is Strange, is available on Mac, and I know this because I played it on my MacBook. So I would hope and assume that it's also available. The DLC will also be available. From my experience, I've also played the Telltale Walking Dead games, and the way that worked is it just took longer for them to release the Mac OS version of the game, but they eventually did. Now, as far as A New Frontier is concerned, the third season of the Walking Dead game, as far as I know, to this day, and I haven't checked it today, but it's not yet available on Mac, but I played it. Oh, that looked really close. That was like the best attempt I think that I've had so far. Yeah, I wasn't able to play it on my computer, so I ended up having to play it on my iPhone. So it's on iOS, which to me means that eventually it will probably end up on Mac OS. They probably just wanted to take advantage of the phone gamers, which I think is becoming a pretty big gaming market, from what I understand. Oh, God, that was so close. Okay. I really have a good feeling, you guys. I really, really have a good feeling. Like, that's like, even before I pushed record on the stream, I didn't get that close. I really have a good feeling. And perhaps talking about other things is helping me to not freak out too much, which is helping my, come on. Which is helping my precision, perhaps. Helping me to stay calm. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't think I'm in the right position, but... Oh, God. It's so close. It's so close and yet so far. I don't know what to do. It's like I get in that position and I don't know which way to swing the hammer. It's really frustrating, but exciting and exhilarating all at the same time. Because I'm like so anticipating that feeling, that rush of endorphins when I finally, or should not be endorphins, I'll say dopamine, when I finally make it past this freaking part. And then probably the inevitable sinking feeling when I get past this part and then I fail really hard. Because, it's gonna happen. It happens to everyone. I've yet to see anyone have a playthrough of this, aside from the creator, where they got past this and didn't fall back down to the bottom at least once. So I have a feeling that it's in my future. Anyway, what's the deal though with developers not releasing things for Mac right away? Is it because it's harder to do the game and it's easier to create games on PC? Or is it because they hate Mac users? I don't get it. But I really would love for them to start understanding that there are a good amount of people who game on Macs. I'm almost certain. I understand that PCs tend to be better for gaming, but there still are people like me, and I think there are some other people too, because otherwise, why would they release it from Mac? There's a reason why. They wouldn't just release it if nobody was doing it, right? Because it seems to me, and again, I don't really know that much about video game developing. I know some things about it, but I would never call myself an expert. But the things what I do know is that there's a possibility that the game developers might have a hard time with the programs that they use to create the game. Like, for example, I know that I saw in the credits of Life is Strange that they created that game using the Unreal Engine. And I'm wondering if Unreal Engine is a program that works better and more efficiently on a PC than on a Mac. For whatever reason. Oh. Okay, what I'm gonna try to do is if I get stuck like that again, I'm gonna like try to like stay still and not move the mouse and see if, oh shit, that was an accident. And see if I can like just stop up there and figure out exactly what to do. So I think that's part of my problem, is that I'm being too sporadic with it. I need to be calculated. Oh, come on. Why do you do that? Okay. Now you're just being fresh. Okay? That was completely unnecessary, Bennett Foddy. That was completely unnecessary. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna... Oh, no! Ooh! That was pretty cool. That was kind of badass, I have to say. Oh, God, my fingers. Hasn't even been that long, actually, either, but I think the problem now is that I played a little bit beforehand, and I think part of my problem, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to get around this. The problem is that I tense up a lot because I'm, like, nervous about the game, because it makes me emotional. And I think that by tensing up my fingers, it's causing, like, cramping. Specifically in my pinky. And I don't know what that's about. Anyway, back to the video game talk. So, right before I decided to play this, and right before I decided to play this, I was watching John Wolf's Let's Play of the Life is Strange DLC, and I'm on episode 3, which I'm guessing is the final episode of that. And so far it's really good. He like I said, he's one of he's actually one of my favorite Let's Players, because his reactions are very real. and he's pretty smart when it comes to making decisions. The only thing is, sometimes I think he gets too annoyed with the characters, and it sort of distracts me from the story or from the playthrough, because I'm like, okay, we get it. You're annoyed by this character. Just finish the game. But anyway, I guess I get it. I don't know. When you're not actually playing and you're just watching someone play, it's likely a much different experience. So I have to give him some leeway for that, I suppose. Cut him some slack. No, don't do that. Oh my gosh, I have to take a break for a second, because my fingers are like super cramped, and I have to figure out how to do this without tensing up my fingers. It's very difficult to do, but I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Cause, oh God, okay. So here's the thing. I think I can swing it to the left and lift myself up, but I don't know how to do that. Okay. I'm gonna try this. I don't know. Oh, God. I didn't do it fast enough, I think. That was such a slow swing. I think if I get in that situation again, I'm gonna try to swing it a little bit faster. Come on. Oh, God. Woo! I almost said a curse word. Sorry about that. My bad. I caught myself, though. It's really like unfortunate that a lot of YouTubers are now like really heavily censoring themselves because of this whole like ad thing. They're afraid that people won't be able to monetize them, but I don't know. I rarely curse on my videos. Like, I know even when I used to do vlogs, like daily vlogs, excuse me, pardon me, even when I used to do daily vlogs, it was, I mean, I would occasionally let out some profanity, but it was very meaningful, and it was very calculated, right? It was to make a point, and I tend to be that kind of person who uses profanity as punctuation, or out of anger or emotion. That happens sometimes too, but most of the time, if I'm doing a video, or like when I used to be on blog TV, it was very calculated. It was very like, I'm using this to make a point. I'm saying this word to make a point, to emphasize something. It was never like, oh, I'm doing it for shock value or whatever. And yeah, not that I'm like criticizing anybody who curses just for that. I mean, I'm like, look, I think people should do whatever they want and express themselves however they want. It's just that I don't, I'm not I really don't agree with censorship. I really don't. As far as when it comes to media, I think that should be up to parents to decide about what they expose their kids to and what they don't expose their kids to. I don't think it should be up to the government or a media company or whatever to decide like what people's children should be exposed to. And I don't really have a very thorough explanation as to why I believe that, except to say that, you know, I'm all about freedom of expression, man. I'm all about freedom of expression, and I think that, you know, I'm all about freedom of expression, and I'm also a person that believes that profanity, quote-unquote profanity, is not as big a deal as people make it out to be. I think it's just words, and I think that, you know, when used in the right context, they can be very meaningful. And, you know, and that's not to say that I think it's okay that kids curse, but they're not my kids, so I can't really have that much of an opinion on it if they're not mine. But I think that a lot of times when young people do use profanity, I think a lot of it is rebellion. You know, they're doing it because they know that it's supposed to be forbidden, and it's a thrill of like doing the wrong thing. And you know, we've all been there. I mean, I know I have. It's interesting though, because of the fact that I'm a teacher, people always assume that, well, and especially like a lot of people that I end up hanging out with tend to be coworkers, and they're always really surprised and shocked when we go out for the first time, like outside of school, and I'm cursing like a sailor, and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I didn't know you curse, you know, I'm really surprised. And I'm like, I'm definitely somebody that curses like a sailor, but I do know that it's inappropriate to curse in school, because again, like I said, it's up to parents to decide what their kids are exposed to as far as things like profanity. So I try to respect that, and I don't use. Also, like, it's against probably school policy that I do that, but so what I do is I've trained myself, or I try to use a psychological approach. And so what I do, or what I've done, is whenever I'm in the school building, whatever school I may be working in at the time, I don't curse even when there's no kids around. Like, even on, like, professional development days when, you know, it's only teachers, so it's only grown-ups, I've trained myself to still not use profanity, because I don't want my brain to think that it's okay to use those words in that building, because I might slip up. Especially working with young kids, they tend to make you frustrated, and a lot of times you can sometimes you can accidentally say some words that you probably shouldn't be saying in front of. Oh, don't you do that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh my God. That was really close. Okay. Anyway, so I've trained myself. So my coworkers would be like, wow, I've never heard you curse. I'm like, yeah, because we've always, you know, up until this point, we've only interacted in school, which is my no cursing zone. And so far, in my almost 10 years of teaching, I've found that it works. So, you know, why reinvent the wheel? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's sort of my whole philosophy. Anyway, I'm sorry if that was rambly and not interesting to you. It just sort of came out organically. I'm like really rambling right now. So I have not made any progress. As you can see. And even though I started this video out being like, oh, I have a good feeling, I don't think I do have a good I don't know what's gonna happen. The video is still relatively young, so maybe it could happen. I don't know. I've gotten really close a few times, so I don't know. We'll see. One thing I will say, my hope for this game in the next few days is that I get past this devil's chimney before I go back to work, which will be in like 3 days. That would be nice. Because then the next parts after this are pretty tame until you get to the orange area. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. Unless you've already gotten there or watched people play it, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I really would like to get past this part, because you know how I was saying I felt about the part with the house down at the bottom? I'm starting to feel that way about this part, because now I feel like I've completely, I don't want to say mastered, but I think that I've figured out how to, oh, that was so close. Oh my gosh. What happens is I panic. Okay. Yeah, but I feel like I've gotten the hang of it. And I'm not gonna, I was just about to say something that would probably jinx me, so I'm not gonna say it. All I will say is in this, I just have a good feeling. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the thing that I was just about to say, again, is gonna be a very jinxy thing to say. And I don't want to do that. So, I'm just gonna say that I have a good feeling. And as you can see, that last time that I was up in the chimney, it was really close. And I think that a few more tries, and I could probably get it. Maybe. Come on. Come on, buddy. Stop doing that. Oh my god. If you don't stop freaking doing that, dude. Oh no! Oh my. You have no idea. My heart just sank in my chest. In fact, I won't even say that it sank in my chest. It sank to my stomach. Like, that was horrible. Oh my gosh. And see, I should have just gone ahead and said what I was gonna say. You know why? Because the thing happened already that I was afraid was gonna happen if I said what I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. What I was gonna say was that so far in this video, I haven't failed. I haven't fallen down. So that makes me feel good. And I didn't say it. I just said I had a good feeling. That's all I said, right? And doesn't matter because it happened. What I was afraid of happened anyway. So, there you go. So, what's the lesson here? Say what you feel because it'll probably happen anyway. I don't know. I don't know if that's the lesson. I just know that... Oh, come on! I just know that I'm sick of doing this part. Oh my god, can I please just get back up there? I would really like to do that right now, please. And then, I hate to tell you, I might actually end the video. Oh god. But I'm not going to end it until I get back up to the chimney, because I don't want to end it with a failure. I'd like to end it with some kind of success. Even if that success is getting back up after I've fallen. Which, again, such a life metaphor, this game, man, I swear. I feel like I say something like that every single time I play it. And it's not even planned. But it's just, that is just, like, the game just brings that out of me. Because, oh, God. Freaking freak. Oh, God. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sorry, I'm really quiet now because I'm not very happy because my good feeling just turned out to be worthless because I fell down anyway, and I'm not happy about that. Okay, here we go. I can do this. Whoopsie. Yeah, that's what happens, Bennett. That's what happens when you're too overconfident. I don't know. Oh, God. I'm really not happy that I have to do this part again. Like, I wish that, you know what I wish? I wish the game counted how many times you have to do each part. Like, I wish there was a way for the game to know. There's got to be a way for the system to because it calculates how long it takes you. And there are, like, ways for it to know, like, if you've gotten to a certain point or not. Like, I wish, and also, too, there's got to be a way, because all those times I knocked down that cup, like, there should be a counter for how many times the Starbucks cup gets knocked down. Like, it's probably really easy to do. You just put some kind of marker on it, and every time it's disturbed, you know, like a oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a trigger point. Like, you know, when you're playing certain games, and like you're playing adventure games or story-based games, and your character crosses a certain point and it triggers a cutscene. There's gotta be a certain thing like that they can do with this game, where they put that by the Starbucks cup. So every time you trigger, anytime the Starbucks cup is moved, oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over. There should be a thing so that every time the Starbucks cup is moved in some way, it does like a tally mark, or it adds like a tally to a digital tally, obviously, to your game file. And so at the end of the game, it calculates, because, you know, the game, what I do know, because I've seen other people beat it, is at the end, it tells you how long it took you. So there should be a way that tells you how many times you knock down the coffee cup. So that way I